A beautiful afternoon at the ballpark has turned into a perfect evening as Pix 11 presents New York Yankees baseball. Brought to you by Resorts World Catskills. Playtime elevated. It's the Yankees against the Orioles in the night portion of a day-night doubleheader. Hey everybody, Ryan Rucco alongside Paul O'Neill. So happy to be with you for Monday Night Baseball here on Pix 11. You know, the Yankees, they took care of business in Game 1, and they did it in a way we've seen them do it this year against the Orioles, and that is with the long ball.
Well, the Orioles pitching gives up a lot of home runs, and this was no different. Game 1, boom, first inning, TD, 3-run homer gives them the lead. Gleyber Torres, he'll never want to see the Orioles out of this division. That's his 11th of the year off the Orioles. Urshela, it's going to take a while. 461 feet later, this will hit the stands, I promise you. And Ryan, if you didn't have enough, I'm going to give you another one. Cameron Maybin, he goes deep. That was plenty of offense for the Yankees this afternoon.
Well, the Yankees certainly got plenty of offense as we take a look at the game summary brought to you by Infinity Empower the Drive. And James Paxton delivered another quality start. 6 innings, 3 runs, 7 strikeouts. Yankees now with 56 homers this season against the Orioles, extending their major league record, and a 13th straight win over Baltimore. Take a look at tonight's pitching matchup. It's brought to you by your Tri-State Audi dealer. Ty Block on the mound for the Orioles, making his Baltimore debut. Chad Green going to open for the Yankees. Paul, what have you liked about Green as an opener for this team this season?
Well, first of all, it's 9-1. I mean, they are 9-1 when he starts a game as an opener. He has come back from the minor leagues. He has been a different pitcher. He's a strikeout pitcher. He's got a couple mile an hour more on his fastball. He's everything this team wants.
Well, he is going to get things started tonight. Gio Urshela is going to try and keep that bat on fire. He chatted with our Meredith Morakovich. You'll hear the most happy fella next here on Pix 11. Getting ready for the start of Game 2 of this day-night doubleheader. Let's take a look at the Orioles starting lineup. It's brought to you by Nissan's Bottom Line Sales Event. Jonathan VR leading off. Trey Mancini has done damage his last 24 games. He bats second. Then it's Santander, Renato Nunez, Jace Peterson, Chance Cisco catches. Hampshire Alberto slides down to 7. Chris Davis and Rio Ruiz rounding out the Orioles starting lineup. Chad Green will open for the Yankees, and we'll check out the pitcher scouting report brought to you by your local Jeep dealer.
Well, he has his success in this role, 1.98 ERA as an opener, and the Yankees are 9-1. He does this role, and a different guy. Since he came back from the minor leagues, his K rate has doubled, and he's throwing much harder. Let's see how hard he throws on his first pitch, right? At 96, that's pretty good.
Yeah, I'll take that. Oh, sure.
And I'm going to get back to scouting report. What was plan B? Because Chad Green was up with Chapman at the end of Game 1 out in the bullpen. So I just wanted to know what plan B was.
Yeah, it's a good question. I don't know. We'd seen Jonathan Holder open a couple times, but he is now on the IL, so he wouldn't have been an option.
Well, it didn't happen, so we got
Yeah,
Chad
no,
Green.
we were able to avoid the whole mishap. Maybe Joe Mantiply is plan B. He is already up and warming.
Wow. So Joe thinks Chad's going to get in trouble earlier. He needs a little extra time.
He just may need some extra time. The Yankees are 11-1 in opener games this season. And that loss came this weekend in Toronto. The Yankees have been so good in these games, though, and Chad Green, as Paul pointed out, has just been outstanding in these spots. As that's grounded to LeMahieu on the backhand, off one leg. In time as Ford completes the stretch, and VR is out.
We got bodies everywhere. LeMahieu on the left side, a couple guys down on the right. You know we're going to have a replay. Let's look at this. I'm going to give him an out call right out of the get-go.
I think you're on the money there, Paul.
Airborne, stretch. Foot on the bag, right?
Yep, and I think that's one of those scenarios where if VR runs through the bag instead of diving, he very well may have been safe. But he dove, and Ford stretched.
That doesn't look comfortable right
Wow.
there.
Man, not at all. Grounded right to Ford. Soft hands and 2 out. 97 miles an hour. Tonight's high-speed pitch comes from Optimum by Altice.
All right, so let's say Chad Green gets out of this inning under 10 pitches.
Yeah.
We go 2 with him?
I think so.
All right. Then lefty in the bullpen's going to have a long time to get loose.
Joe Mantiply just perpetually throwing out there.
Isn't it funny how baseball, if you're left-handed, you're lefty. You know, it doesn't matter what your name is. You're just lefty.
That's your nickname.
You don't say righties.
Yeah. No, you don't say, hey, righty, come over here. Let's see if Aaron Boone sticks with righty. Green threw 24 pitches on Saturday. Swing and a miss. Well,
we'll find out, though.
We sure will. A 9-pitch 1-2-3 first for Chad Green. Yankees coming up. In the Yankees order. Ty Block on the hill for the Orioles. And deal strike 1 to LeMahieu. Two games with the Giants this year.
That's what you're going to see from a lot of sinkers and a lot of changeups. Typical lefty likes to turn that changeup over, have it go away from right-handers.
LeMahieu grounds it up the middle, a base hit to begin things for the Yankees. Let's take a look at the pitcher's scouting report brought to you by your local Jeep dealer.
Well, it's an Orioles debut. They called him up between games. Brandon Klein was sent down in 180 degrees. Talking about a total turnaround. He was a Giants opening day starter last year. He waived a couple weeks ago, and a lot of openings in the Baltimore pitching staff, so they're going to give him a shot. As I said, a lot of sinkers, a lot of changeups. Basically what you're going to get. A lot of base hits up the middle is what you're going to get.
Yeah,
LeMahieu, right?
No matter what, no matter who's on the mound, no matter what inning, home road, just keeps keeping on. Big hole on the right side for Judge. 3 infielders on the left side. Yankees still waiting for Judge to break out. We saw him drive some balls to the track in Toronto, just a little off. And it's 2-1 on Judge.
Yeah, this is where Aaron Judge's approach recently, a lot of balls to right field, would be very good approach off Block. Not going to throw the ball by you. A changeup you could take the other way.
Judge lifts that in the air to center, in the yard. Santander is there, 1 down. We'll take a look at the Orioles defense, brought to you by the Kia Summer Clearance Event. Jace Peterson, Anthony Santander, Trey Mancini across the outfield. Yesterday's hero, Rio Ruiz. VR, Alberto up the middle, Chris Davis at first, and Chance Sisco catches Ty Block. Here is Urshela, who had 3 hits and homered in the first game of this doubleheader. Gio now hitting .292 in 2-strike counts. All 3 of those hits in game 1 were with 2 strikes. Leads the majors, and the MLB average is just .174 in 2-strike counts.
Yeah, it's not leading it by much. It's just lapping the field, and it's all about his approach. And we've gone over it numerous times. Pulling the balls inside, hitting the balls away the other way. So with 2 strikes, nothing changes in his approach.
He's ahead 2-0 here. And he lines that up the middle for a base hit. LeMahieu is going to hold at second. 4th hit of the day for Gio Urshela, and the Yankees have first and second with nobody out, with 1 out.
It was very interesting to see Meredith talk to him between games and some of the interviews. I mean, he's such a humble kid, and you know, his home run, we 461 feet, and you know, Meredith flat out, did you know you had that kind of power? And he, you know, kind of not really. But by the end of the interview, he said, yeah, I knew I got that one.
I mean, his batting average is up to .330 now. It's just incredible what he's doing.
And it's funny when he got to the clubhouse, some of the guys giving him a little bit of a hard time, Paul. Gleyber Torres and Luis Severino saying, oh, you're a power hitter now. Now you're a power hitter. And when I asked Aaron Boone about that home run, I told him it went 461 feet. And he looked at me kind of twice and said, wow. I don't think he even realized how hard he hit that ball.
That's what's been fun about this. I mean, you see it just, you know, how everybody delights in seeing somebody exceed expectations like this.
And I tell you, when a team's playing well, as the Yankees are right now, it just seems like all the jokes, everything's a little bit more fun. It takes me back to some of the really, really good years where, you know, Tim Raines and Jeter used to just hassle people. But it's fun when you're winning. It makes it fun to come to the ballpark.
Well, he has certainly looked like a power hitter, especially since the All-Star break. Two and 2 on Torres, who homered in game 1 of the doubleheader. His 11th of the season against Baltimore. Torres smacks that to left field, a base hit. LeMahieu rounding third. He's going to hang on right there. 3rd single of the inning for the Yankees, and they're set up. Bases loaded, 1 down.
Yeah, Phil Nevin just kind of stuck in the middle, but you know, with 1 out, let's hold it up. Go for a big inning. Give him an easy out at the plate. Ball hit just right at Peterson, so he was just at third base. He'd been a sure out at home.
Gardner had a productive game 1. Went 1 for 2, a double, 2 walks, 3 runs scored. And with the way Gardner's been hitting, makes it an easy choice to hold LeMahieu as well.
Block, I'm sure, is happy. He's finally got a lefty on lefty. A little sidearm kind of over jumps at you. A little tough to pick up for lefties. Either my earphones are tired or they're going out.
Are they going out?
There's kind of a lot of noise going on here.
Maybe turn up the volume a little bit, Paul.
No, that just. I'd ask you about AM radio. You know how just don't quite get good reception.
Gardner lines that to left center field. A long run. Santander can't get there and start the merry-go-round. 1 run scores. 2 run scores. Torres is in. It's a bases clearing triple for Brett Gardner. And the Yankees take a 3-0 lead.
You talk about great approach, and Brett Gardner, game 1, you talked about swinging the bat, driving the ball to right field, pulling the ball against a lefty that keeps the ball away. Great approach, even on a middle end pitch. Go the other way. Boy, this is fun as a base runner. When you see that outfield all-out dive and miss, just bring them all home.
All-out effort by Santander, but could not quite catch up with it. Here's Cameron Maben with the infield in. 0-1. Boy, Brett Gardner, I mean, he has been so incredibly productive.
Yeah, since he's come back from the IL, 11 games off the IL at 389, which only went up.
Now at 405 with 9 extra base hits.
Did you just do that in your head? You just took that bat and added it on?
Well,
that's pretty impressive.
I gratefully, I was in sync with our outstanding graphics crew.
Showing me up because I was like doing the math in my head.
No.
I was going to throw a ballpark figure out there, but I wasn't going to give you.
No, Ian Riley on graphics did the math for us. Gardner's 6th triple, which is 7th in the AL. The 1-2. And Maben down on strikes. 2 away. But you pointed it out, Paul, going to left center, that approach for Brett Gardner. He talked recently about that's something he's been working on with Marcus Timms, PJ Pilateri, driving the ball the other way.
Well, it's a must with somebody with his, type of speed to use the whole ballpark. I mean, everybody wants to hit home runs, and there are times where you need them, but Brett Gardner got to the major leagues because of his speed and his ability to score runs, and you don't want to give away left center field if that's your strength.
We saw him actually homer to the opposite field twice at Camden Yards. Just the 2nd and 3rd homers of his career that were to the left of center. 0-2 on Romine. Mantiply back up. See if Green continues after his 9-pitch first.
Well, he looks like he's going to go out. You don't know if he'll finish the inning, but he looks like he's ready to go back out. All of a sudden, this has been a long inning, too, so that's going to come into play. Do they want him to go back out, heat up again?
This will be the 27th pitch of the inning. Romine pokes that, gloved by Alberto, and that ends the frame. But the Yankees score 3. A bases clearing triple for Brett Gardner, 3-0 after 1.
Dominating the East team, the Yankees are, and that's why they are kind of running away with the American League East at this point. And lucky 13. Is it a lucky number? I don't know. When you've won 13 in a row off the Orioles, it is. And that's where they sit right now. And let it fly. 4 more home runs this afternoon. 56 home runs in 16 games against the Orioles this year.
The Yankees offense has been setting all kinds of records against the Orioles this season. That ball is ripped to center field. Gardner has a great beat on it. 1 down. Take a look at the Yankees defense, brought to you by Ram Trucks, built to serve. Maben, Gardner, Judge in the outfield. LeMahieu and Torres on the left side. Valera and Ford on the right side of the infield. And Romine catches Green. And that's going to do it for Chad Green. 11 pitches, 4 outs. Pretty solid work.
Why you warm up? Quick 4 outs, 11 pitches.
This call to the bullpen is brought to you by Dunkin'. America runs on Dunkin'. Joe Mantiply making his Yankees. Joe Mantiply into the game for the Yankees and tosses a ball to Jace Peterson. 11 pitches, 4 outs for Chad Green. Another successful stint as the Yankees opener. And now Mantiply makes his Yankees debut. See his season in the minors, AA and AAA in the red system, as that's grounded to Ford. He'll take it to the bag. 2 down. Mantiply had a 5-game MLB stint with the Tigers in September of 2016. Yankees picked him up off waivers after that season. He had a good 2017 with the Rail Riders. Then he signed a minor league deal with the Reds, but needed Tommy John surgery and missed all of 2018. Came back this year, mostly with Cincinnati's AAA affiliate in Louisville. And he was traded to the Yanks on Friday. 14 1/3 straight scoreless innings in the minors. And this is one way around the July 31st trade deadline. Minor league players could still be acquired. So the Yankees acquire Mantiply as a minor league player and bring him up to the bigs. The 3-1. Grounded to Ford. He's going to try and get to the bag himself. He does. And the inning is over. 6 up, 6 down thus far. After 1.5, 3-0 Yankees. Mantiply retired that he faces, but, you know, he forgot that he came in with 1 out already in the inning.
I got you. That's right. 3 outs. You know, when you come into this closer thing, you think you're starting the tire. You're coming into the ball. You think you're starting the inning. Forgot you came in with 1 out.
Right. Forgot that Chad Green had been out there for the first out of the second. But a nice job by Mantiply. And here is Mike Ford, who has started both games of this doubleheader. Went 0 for 4 in the first.
Just figured out Mike Ford got a little. Remember Mike Aldretti played
Mike
with us for a while?
Aldretti, yeah.
Got a little Mike Aldretti in him. That's where I got it. Took me all day. Got David Cohn's number on his back and Mike Aldretti on his face.
I could see that. He was with you guys in '96, right? Yeah. 36 looks a little smaller on Ford's back than Coney's.
Got a little more broader back than Coney.
Yeah.
Coney didn't want that broad. He wanted that loose arm so he could throw all those sliders and fastballs.
Swing and a miss. Ford down on strikes. Paul, we're getting rave reviews on your Mike Ford, Mike Aldretti comparison, man. Yeah.
I'm not all nuts.
No. Breivik Valera, who went 1 for 3 in game 1.
How often do you see? So Valera was a 26 guy.
Yeah.
To call it, you had an extra guy for the doubleheader, right? Usually is an extra guy. Call him and he starts both games, plays a doubleheader for you.
And you know what? He gets a hit in both games. I'm not sure why Valera didn't run, and now does, and sprints through the bag at first on a base hit to right field. It's funny, the catcher, Cisco, was pointing out trying to get Chris Davis to go to first base because Valera just didn't run.
You know, a lot of times you think you fouled the ball off. You don't know really where it went because you had your head down. I remember doing that one time in Seattle. Joe Torre said, "You need to run." I said, "I didn't know where the ball was." He said, "Run anyway."
What's interesting is that one's like just out in right field. I mean, now he made it.
Yeah, that hit the grass. That didn't even hit the dirt over there.
It wasn't close to the dirt. LeMahieu singled his first time up, came around to score on the 3-run triple from Brett Gardner. Incidentally, gave Gardner 500 RBIs for his career.
Congrats. That is a nice round number for a career at this point. Got to realize Brett Gardner, for the majority of his career, first hitter, second hitter, not a ton of opportunities. Now it's changed the way the lineups are made. In the old days, leadoff hitter drove in 50 in a year. That was a pretty good year.
Yeah. And Gardner's having maybe the best season of his career. He's been that good for the Yankees this year. And even 50 RBIs so far this season. And it's 3-1 on LeMahieu. And LeMahieu walks. He's on for the second time in as many innings. First and second, one out, and Aaron Judge strutting to the plate.
He just missed one his last time up, Ryan. You kind of get that feeling that something might happen here. I'm just saying.
You feel like he's close?
Yeah, I feel like he's really close to shooting one out to right field here, to tell you the truth.
Big swing there, fouls it away. Judge has always haunted Orioles pitching. This season, most of the Yankees lineup has. That one skips away. Valera's going for third. He's safe, and that ball's into left field. Valera will score. LeMahieu is going to hang on at third. The Yankees increase the lead to 4-0.
Now, the Orioles aren't in the position they are without plays like this throughout the year. See this down the left field line, kind of a gift there. And it actually probably going to take the bat out of Aaron Judge's hands, where, you know, he was.
Two and two. They'll call that a stolen base E2. So stolen base for Valera. Infield is in. The 2-2. And it's full on Judge. Now they just changed it to a wild pitch. So forget the stolen base, wild pitch, E2. And Judge walks. Who's Hot, brought to you by the Toyota National Clearance Event. This guy. Last 9 games, those are Little League numbers.
Yeah, it's pretty productive from a guy that was supposed to be a defensive replacement years ago, right?
Oh, man. You know, it's too bad he doesn't qualify for the batting title. We could have had a fun little race between him and DJ LeMahieu.
3 years back, it was Mattingly and Winfield.
Yeah.
Came down to the last day of the season.
1984 season. Swing and a miss, 0-2.
Well, 2 strikes. Urshela's got him right where he wants him, right?
Yeah.
Hitting close to 300, leading the world. 2 strikes hitting.
LeMahieu on third, Judge at first. 1 run already in here in the second. 3 scored on Gardner's bases clearing triple in the first. And it's 2-2 on Urshela. Urshela chops that to short. We'll see if they can turn it on to first in time for the inning ending. 6-4-3 double play. Yankees do score 1, 4-0 after 2. On your favorite supported devices. Blackout and other restrictions apply. Visit MLB.tv for details. As Mantiply starts off Alberto with a strike.
You see Mantiply's delivery, kind of sidearm, kind of a tricky delivery, not overpowering. Gets a little movement down, and he'll throw a lot of change-ups off of that fastball. Tell you one thing, the fans in the second game got a lot to live up to. We had some good plays in the stands early.
Wow.
Little guy caught one out in the seats. A couple good plays in the stands this afternoon.
Tremendous work. How about this?
Yeah, this is one of the better plays we've seen all year.
Eyes on the ball.
That's pure joy there. Look how happy he is. Is there anything better than seeing a young kid smile? Huh? They don't know all the problems in the world yet. Everything's great.
I mean, that wasn't an easy play either. We slow it down, makes it look a little easier, but that's driven in the air to left center and deep. Gardner on his horse. That ball is going to roll to the wall. Racing into second is Alberto. He's going for third, and he's in there with a leadoff triple.
Brett Gardner playing shallow and way over to right center. No chance to get this one. Alberto, good wheels, gets to third base. You see Brett Gardner way over here, a long way to go. All he could to get it in. Alberto knew right off the bat wasn't going to be caught. Off to the races.
Here's Chris Davis. Takes a strike. Aaron Boone was talking about Mantiply the other day and said hey, he's having a great season, strike thrower. Had been a guy who was sort of just a one-inning situational guy, but recently has been able to pitch a couple innings. So the Yankees comfortable extending him into the third inning after he got the final 2 outs of the second. The 0-2. Swing and a miss. Chris Davis down on strikes.
And the nightmare kind of continues if you're Chris Davis, coming in hitting 181. Just probably scratching his head. It's become such more of a mental thing at this point. But he's a guy that signed a huge contract, big power hitter. And all of a sudden, he's figured out how the game adjusted to him, and he has not adjusted back.
That's rolled slowly to Ford. He will toss to Mantiply. Run scores. It's an RBI ground out for Rio Ruiz, and it's a 4-1 game. You're right about Davis, though, Paul. I mean, he signed a 7-year, $161 million deal, and he signed through 2022, which puts the Orioles in a tough situation, a little bit of a predicament as to what to do, because he's not a part of what they're trying to build, but they owe him a lot of money over the next few years. Had a 62 plate appearance hitless streak earlier this year. And this was a guy from 2012 to 2017. He was incredibly productive. 3 more years at $69 million.
Yeah, that's kind of hard to just take to, to figure out what to do with the guy. He was a guy you planned on putting in the middle of the lineup and just put some young kids around him. A lot of times you do things with organization, and I've talked to Chris Davis. He's a great kid, nice kid. You just, as an organization, do things that you feel are right, and sometimes they just don't work out.
Oh, nice catch up there in the suite level, Paul. They were listening to you.
See, the suite level, they got TVs. They know what to live up to.
Nicely done, young man. Let's see. Paul's watching.
Ah, barehanded too.
Woo!
It's a catch.
Oh, just out of the diving attempt. Valera. A base hit for Jonathan Villar.
Outstretched, just out of the reach.
Paul, I'm glad you hone in on fans and their ability to catch as well, because I find myself all the time, you want to do play-by-play of the crowd and foul balls,
Absolutely. I mean, if you think about it, who in this crowd didn't come to the game thinking, I might get a foul ball today?
Right.
Never know. Unless you're in the upper deck where Michael Kay used to sit.
That ball driven out to right field and deep, and it is gone. A 2-run homer for Trey Mancini, and just like that, it's a 4-3 game.
We talked in game 1, Mancini hit a ball way out of the strike zone. And another one, he's got 11 home runs. That's his 12th home run in the last 17 games. He has really turned it on. It's 29th of the year. It's a second pitch away that he's taken away. So, I mean, you've got to change your approach with him. He understands where he is. Yankee Stadium.
So 3 runs in the inning for Baltimore. And here is Anthony Santander.
We got an old-fashioned slugfest work here tonight.
Yeah, we just may. The Orioles offense had been, improving, and really was their pitching lagging way behind. They played better as a team in the month of July.
Yeah, they were actually 500
yeah.
for the first time in a long time.
Cued back to the mound. Mantiply will throw out Santander. But the Orioles score 3 in the frame, 2 of them on Trey Mancini's 29th home run. There's 2 Pix 11 games this week following this one, Friday and Sunday.
What's been impressive is Tampa and how well they've played lately. We said, 12 out of their last 15 games to stay in this race. Well, most of it's been done on the West Coast, but they're still out there. So, you know, you remember years back where you went out to the West Coast, and if you broke 500, it was a good trip.
Yeah.
You know, it's a very tough travel schedule.
Well, we've seen in recent years, especially Yankees have had a tough time playing in Oakland, where they're about to go.
These split doubleheaders, we just saw that picture of the moon. It's like we see the sun come up, and then we see the moon come up, too.
Yeah, we do, don't we?
It's kind of a full day, right?
Torres cuts and misses. It's sort of when you're sitting waiting at the stadium between games. It's got a strange feeling, doesn't it?
It does. It gets very. You go from loud crowd to a win to basically nothing.
Yep.
And then you and me saddling up, eating dinner together, just looking at the field. What a view, right?
That Parmesan was unbelievable.
And now we get to check out the moon together.
Look at how beautiful that moon is. Gardner taps that back to block. Nice athletic stretch to grab it. 2 quick outs in the third. And no one's warming in the Yankee bullpen right now, so it looks like Mantiply is going to be pushed at least to begin the fourth. I was talking with Nestor Cortez, and he said he would be available today, but he did throw 36 pitches 2 days ago. And he threw those 36 pitches on 2 days rest after throwing 50 pitches. Off the end of the bat, popped up in the infield. And making the call is Ruiz as he snares it away from block. And a quick 1-2-3 inning. Hicks as well, catching the action with the Yankees leading the Orioles 4-3, top of the fourth. Heard Meredith tell us yesterday about Stanton progressing to some baseball activities. Throwing, hitting off the tee. Feeling like he's headed in the right direction, according to Aaron Boone. And Boone still saying they still believe they will have Stanton back as a player this season. And Meredith, we found out a plethora of injury news today, so go ahead, load us up.
Big day when it comes to injury updates, and a positive day at that. Luis Severino threw a 29-pitch bullpen session. He'll throw one more bullpen, and then as long as he feels okay, he'll face hitters. Severino said he believes there is still enough time to be stretched out as a starter. He was extremely encouraged with how strong he feels on the mound right now. Dellin Betances also threw a 20-pitch bullpen session, 17 fastballs, 3 breaking balls, and he couldn't believe how well the ball was coming out of his hand. He was a guy that you could just tell by the body language in the clubhouse how excited he was about the way he felt. He said there is no issue with his lat right now, and you saw him throwing in the bullpen. He'll throw another bullpen on Thursday. Luke Voit got some positive news. He was sprinting out in the outfield about 10 a.m. this morning with Matt Krause running him through some drills. He has the sports hernia, and he said it hurts him the most when he would go to sprint, but he had no pain today when he was running, so that's a good sign. And he said right now he feels like he is 100%. He's going to start hitting a little bit tomorrow and then progress with more baseball activity. But in his mind, he's coming back this season, and he is going to be a viable player. CC Sabathia will throw a bullpen tomorrow. He's probably going to be slotted in that starting rotation for the Cleveland series. And you saw Aaron Hicks sitting next to Giancarlo Stanton. He was scheduled to see the Yankees doctor today. He told me in the clubhouse earlier that elbow pain is out in that elbow area, and he believes that he will be cleared soon to throw. So as soon as that happens, things should move pretty quickly with Hicks, but I'm sure the Yankees have a plan in place as to how they want to bring him along.
Awesome stuff, Meredith. You got all that, Paul?
Yeah, what I was thinking when I was listening to that, because it went on and on and on, it's just like, that's a lot of injuries for a team 8.5 games up in the American League East.
It's
right?
unbelievable. It really is. It's incredible. I mean, that's what's been amazing is, if you would have said, looking at the roster at the beginning of the year, well, the Yankees are going to be this many games over 500, have this kind of lead in the AL East, you said, okay. But if you would have said they're going to misjudge for 2 months, Stanton for all but 12 games, they're going to not have Severino at all, Betances at all, going to miss Didi for 2 months, Hicks for what's going to amount to a combination of a couple months from the beginning of the year and now. I mean, you would have said, what? No, they can't do that.
Michael K's on the DL for like 3 weeks. It's just next man up, right?
That's it, man. That's the theme.
And there are 17 guys currently on the injured list. 27 throughout the course of the season have landed there. And, Paul, I did forget one because I know you were curious about pitching help. Jonathan Loaizaga has been throwing for the Rail Riders on a rehab assignment. Aaron Boone said he could be an option out of the bullpen as early as next week.
I didn't want to call you out, Meredith, but thank you for
That's a team player, right?
dotting your eyes and crossing your T's
Paulie.
back there. Yep.
Still upset there was no dinner invite for me, though. What's that about?
Missed Arthur Ave. As Cisco works a 2-out walk against Mantiply. Now the Yankees are pushing Mantiply a bit here. He was high in the minors this season, pitch count wise, was 36. And he's up to 41 pitches right now. Yankees getting creative, though, as they try and piece this together. That ball is hit in the air to center. Gardner makes the catch to end the inning. Through 3.5, the Yankees with a 4-3 lead on the Orioles. Second doubleheader with the moon shining brightly.
Got a moon tan on your neck there.
That's right. Yankees lead at 4-3, bottom of the 4th. Thanks for hanging out with us all day long. And Romine is down looking, 1 away. And after a rocky start, Block has settled in over these last couple innings.
Yeah, all of a sudden he's starting to mix a curveball in and then just absolutely freezes Romine right here, right on the corner. Got the call.
Yankees hit 4 homers in game 1 of this doubleheader. Torres, Didi, Urshela, and Maben all went deep. As Ford trying to go deep in this one. He did. That's into the bullpen. Mike Ford with his 4th home run of the season. It's 5-3 Bombers.
Well, you kind of root for him. You see what he's done in the minor leagues. You just hope that he gets an opportunity here at the major leagues to show that he can hit. And you can just see his swing. Really not a lot of holes in it. Just puts the ball in play. Got this ball up in the air. Carried it out into the bullpen. Oh, Mike, you can smile.
You can see it. Yeah, the hug. Oh, yeah. You can see Voit, Judge fired up for Ford, though.
Yeah, tried to sneak a fastball away, and it kind of tailed right back into him. See the difference on, the players that use a leg kick?
Yeah, Ruiz throws out Valera.
Where they kind of load, and then they go to their front side, and then if you watch Ford, he'll load and then stay on his backside, and he'll generate power from his backside. And it's just a completely different swing, but it keeps him through the strike zone a lot longer.
The Orioles have now allowed 246 home runs this season. 3rd most all time in a single season. As LeMahieu shoots this one to right field and deep. Mancini back on the track. Makes the leaping catch to end the inning. But the Yankees put one back on the board. Mike Ford finds the bullpen. 5th inning, and Joe Mantiply is still in there. Maybe just for Davis, and if so, that'll be a quick inning for him. As Ford tosses to Mantiply. And, well, you know what? Ruiz is also a lefty on deck, so perhaps just the first 2 hitters of the inning for Mantiply, who has certainly pushed it as far as length goes. His high this season was 36 pitches, but at a time when the Yankees need some innings, he has stepped up. Got the final 2 outs in the second, allowed 3 runs in the third, but threw a 0 up in the fourth.
And you can understand Aaron Boone's reasoning here, as he's such a good matchup against lefties. You look at his sidearm delivery. And we talked to Ryan earlier that you know, in the past he was kind of a matchup guy against lefties because of his arm angle. Throws that breaking ball and a fastball from that little sidearm. It's amazing on TV. You really can't tell, but your vision of the ball out here from a lefty, you kind of actually lose the ball, and so you kind of pick it up late, and that's why the velocity and the breaking ball you just don't pick up as well.
And it's 2-2 on Ruiz. The 2-2. And it's full on Rio Ruiz.
Boy, Romine really had him set up for that 2-seam fastball inside. He had thrown him away with some breaking balls and just was not able to locate it.
The payoff is a breaking ball grounded foul. Brady Lale is warming in the Yankee pen. Mantiply trying to get one more out here in the fifth. And Ruiz putting on a tough at bat.
Well, a lot of breaking balls. 3-2. You're right. Ruiz staying right in there.
And that one misses as Ruiz works a walk, and that will end the outing for Joe Mantiply. Gave the Yankees some much needed innings. This call to the bullpen is brought to you by Dunkin'. America runs on Dunkin'. Brady Lale making his major league debut coming in from the pen. After 8 seasons in the minor leagues, Brady Lale makes his major league debut. An 18th round pick by the Yankees back in 2012. 1 on, 1 out. As VR taps that foul. And there is Brady's family, his mom in the pink, Jody, her husband Ben to her left, brother Ben a couple seats down, and then his fiance Kate and daughter Olivia. And is he going to get a double play to start his career? Oh, the bare hand fire from Torres. That was pretty, and the family loves it. You can't have a better start than that if you're Brady Lale. He's a 5-3 lead, bottom 5th. Nice when your second pitch you throw in the big leagues turns into 2 outs, huh?
Yeah, you're probably you're happy enough just to see your mother and father and their reaction, because you know they're a nervous wreck in your first major league appearance.
Meanwhile, Judge just had a pitch to Hammer, just missed it, and maybe another.
Yeah, make that 2. Huh?
Yeah. Judge is flown out to center and walked. Even during his struggles, he continues to show discipline at the plate.
You know, the key to Aaron Judge is to close your ears and don't listen and be patient. Know that you're getting some good swings. And you're swinging at strikes because, he can go on those tears where he hits 10, 15 home runs in a month, and then all of a sudden your offense is that much better.
And Judge works his second walk of the game. All right, let's go back to that double play to end the top of the fifth.
Well, sinking fastball, that'll get you a ground ball, and a little bare hand by Torres. What a cool play. Boy, it's cool when it works, right?
Yeah. And the family?
They've been waiting a long time for that.
8 years in the minors.
The only one that's really not enthused is the baby.
Those shots of the fam. Oh, man.
I always thought that every family grew up that way, but then, because my father coached me in Little League. He coached me in Pony League in high school and everything. So I knew it was as much of a dream for him as it was for me. But then you go to play baseball, and some of these minor leaguers you're playing with, you realize not everybody grew up that way. They played some sports. They were just athletic enough to play baseball, but they didn't have that dream that a lot of families do, and it just makes the story so much better.
Urshela, speaking of good stories, with another hit. His second of the game and his fifth of the doubleheader. And the other thing that makes you just feel so good in that moment and seeing Brady get this chance is he was in the minor leagues for 8 years. An 18th round pick in 2012 out of Bingham High School in South Jordan, Utah. Moved from the rotation to the bullpen last year. Had a 1.93 ERA in AA Trenton this year. Called up to AAA 3 weeks ago and has had a sub-4 ERA in Scranton. And now getting his chance in the big leagues. The day is done for Ty Block. Yankees threatening for more with a 2-run lead in the fifth. Phil and Meredith, I know you got a chance to chat with him over the weekend.
You wonder if his heart was beating out of his chest as he was on a major league mound for the first time, something that he had wanted to do, obviously, throughout his entire baseball career, a dream finally realized. I asked him how he would keep those emotions in check when his number was called, and he told me, I just have to remember there are more people. It's a bigger stadium, but this is the same game that I've played since I was 4 years old. I need to have fun when I'm out there. Now, Paul, this is kind of funny, almost a little bit cruel, but he's been waiting a long time for this opportunity. And when his pitching coach, Tommy Phelps with the Rail Riders, told him that he was headed to the big leagues, at first he thought he was in trouble.
Torres skies that deep to left center field. That ball is gone. Gleyber Torres with a 3-run bomb. His 12th of the year against Baltimore. And it's an 8-3 game as Leo gets more support.
Wow. You knew it off the bat. He knew it off the bat. Gleyber Torres likes black and orange. He has crushed the Orioles. That's why Aaron Judge is still a big part of this lineup. By taking that walk, you just give other people opportunities, and boom, you got a 3-run homer.
25th home run of the season for Gleyber Torres. And yeah, that core issue seems just fine.
You still dance with it, right?
Yeah. A homer in game 1 and this in game 2.
Oh, he knew it. Look, you think the hitter knows? When you show the highlights that it passes the Armatron sign, that's usually a pretty good thing.
That means it was well struck. All right, Meredith. Well, Gleyber, he had other things in mind than Brady Leo. But now
A little rude, but go ahead.
We want to hear the rest of the story.
Hey, I'll always pause for a home run. Why not, right? Yeah, but Brady Lail, a couple of the other pitchers weren't out on the line for the national anthem, and he thought that he was actually getting in trouble. And Tommy Phelps kept it going for a little while, saying, hey, you really have to be out there. And then he said, you know what? You'll have 2 national anthems next time you're standing out there. And he didn't put it together at first, and then said, you're going to Toronto. You're joining the big league team.
Nice.
And he was so excited. He did not know what to do. He actually said he threw up a little bit because he didn't know how to react. He couldn't digest it, Paul.
Well, I'll tell you
But
what.
literally.
excited. And
I was excited to go to the major leagues. I didn't feel like throwing up.
he then called his parents, and he said there were not a lot of words on the other end of the phone. They were just so floored and excited for him. So pretty cool all the way around.
I ran out of that office. I didn't want them to change their mind.
Oh, so cool. And Brady's family here to catch the game.
I mean, we saw that highlight, right, of him finally cracking a smile. And I kind of looked over at the booth. I was smiling. You were smiling.
Yeah.
Audrey was. Everybody was smiling. Then I look over at Vinny. What, you got no heart, Vinny? You didn't even crack a smile over there. All business. All right.
Vinny, our outstanding cameraman here in the booth. There's Vinny. Vinny, now you can smile. Yeah, there you go. Vinny is a drummer just like you, Paul.
I do know that. I ask him about licks once in a while.
Oh, yeah? You know, it's one of those things, and obviously it's a long year, and there's all these little subsets of stories and moments throughout the course of an 162-game season. Those moments, those debut moments and the family reactions, they're always so special, and they always get you. In Yankees history, we took you back to 1961 before, remember? Since 61. In franchise history, the most home runs in a season against an opponent all time. Gehrig with 14 in 1936 against Cleveland. That's the major league record. Maris had 13 in 1961 against the White Sox, and now Gleyber Torres with 12 against the Orioles.
The funny thing was, I mean, when you're talking about Lou Gehrig, what, they have like 6 teams in the league?
Right, exactly. I mean, you were just piling up against the same opponent. James could tell us how many games he played against Cleveland that year, probably. Played 22 games against Cleveland that season.
That's still pretty impressive, Lou.
Yeah. Because you'd play 22 games against everyone at that time. Torres still has a little real estate to work with here. 2 more games against the Orioles tomorrow and Wednesday, and half a game left tonight. Runner goes, Maven swinging, fouls it away.
I just noticed, Ryan, I mean, you're thinking about a split doubleheader. It's the Baltimore Orioles, and it's the summer. It's a Monday. We had a good crowd this afternoon, right? Then you look around tonight, it's loaded.
Yeah, this is jam-packed tonight.
Absolutely.
This is a fun team to watch.
It certainly is. I mean, you took the words right out of my mouth. I mean, it's been a fun year to call. It's been a fun year to watch. There were times early in the year with all the injuries that, when would you ever say it, that the Yankees are overachieving? Okay, well, they are, and they did. And, you know, now they've got it rolling. And I don't know that you can give Aaron Boone enough credit for how he made these guys believe they could continue to win.
A calm, steady demeanor, no panic, despite the injuries piling up. And Mabin tips that into the glove. He's 0 for 3, a couple strikeouts. Here is Austin Romine.
You look at that number 20 on the patch on the arms of the Baltimore players. Frank Robinson, probably one of the, I don't know, 5, 10 best players that possibly ever played this game. Did it all.
Romine entered this game hitting .357 since the beginning of July with an OPS over 1,000. Big time numbers stepping up with Gary Sanchez missing time.
There have been 2 fastballs right there. Looks like Romine is actually thinking that Phillips is going to throw him breaking balls. It's been 2 fastballs. He's been a little bit behind.
Runner goes. Romine taps it foul. So Torres with the 12 homers against the Orioles this season. Most by a player versus any team since Sammy Sosa hit 12 in 1998 against the Brewers. You know, whenever Gleyber Torres goes deep, I think about Gary Thorne's frustration in May.
In the air to right field. Mancini going back on the ball by Torres. Way back, up, and... I don't even know. Goodbye, home run.
Gary Thorne, one of the best home run callers in the game.
There's Gary.
Did we get lucky or he didn't change shirts? He had the same shirt on.
Don't dime him out.
Not that I noticed.
Is it the same tie, too? I don't know. Gleyber found it funny also. Gary's got some golden pipes, too, man. Ford has already gone yard tonight. Ford muscles that in the air to left. Easy for Peterson. And that will end the inning. How about that young man? Gleyber Torres, his 25th homer of the year. his 12th against Baltimore. It's 8-3 Bombers. The 6th inning of a day-night doubleheader. Yankees won the opener 8-5, and they have an 8-3 lead. Top of the 6th of game 2, and Austin Romine's gonna head down to the dugout and maybe change some equipment. Might had an issue with his catcher's mask, or maybe he just knew. We wanted to tell you fans to come out to Yankee Stadium this Friday, August 16th, when the Yankees take on the Cleveland Indians. The first 18,000 guests in attendance will receive a Yankees beach towel courtesy of Pepsi. For tickets, log on to Yankees.com or visit the Yankee Stadium ticket window. Hey, thanks, Austin.
Press a beach towel there.
Yeah. That could be Mom's birthday present next year. Oh, yeah, that webbing is no good. Didi Gregorius demoing it for us. Thank you, Didi.
Well, Stevie will have something to do. Stevie Donahue, he's already at work. He's got his little tool chest over there with the rawhide to restring it. Imagine the pressure that, you know, those little strings take with that fastball coming in there time and time again.
Especially with the velocity these days. Ooh. That ball's lined to right field and foul. Brady Lale in his first full inning of work after he got Jonathan Villar to ground into an inning-ending double play on the second pitch that Lale threw.
Well, Mancini has taken 2 balls in both games away out of the ballpark. It just seems to me you have to make a little adjustment, either put a little spin on it like he did there, or get the ball in on his hands. He has been hot.
"29 home runs now this season for Mancini." Squibs that to second, got it in on his hands. 1 down.
Yeah, it's amazing when you do change location. I mean, Mancini was on everything, and Romine calls for a ball inside. Looked like a totally different hitter. See this ball tail in. He tried to pull his hands in to get to it and actually cued it off the end of the bat.
Here's Santander. Lale throws 5 pitches, 4-seamer, 2-seamer, curve, slider, and change. Says his changeup is his best pitch, but really developed his slider during his rehab earlier this year. And even when he transitioned to a bullpen role, he still will use all 5 pitches. And so often we see guys scrap a couple of those pitches when they go to the pen, but not Lale. And one of the other things, just talking with Brady earlier today, he said he feels so comfortable in the room because so many of the guys he's played with in the minor leagues are here. You know, talked about how close he was with Aaron Judge and Gary Sanchez. And one of the common themes we've seen all season from the young guys coming up is how they are comfortable the second they get here.
That makes a huge difference. And Ryan, it's an unbelievable point when you're called up from the minor leagues and you don't know anybody on the team. You almost feel alienated from day one. And when you've got guys you've played with that you see that have been successful, you feel like, you know, they can do it. I've done it with them before. You feel much more at ease at playing at the major league level.
Was there a guy in particular who made you feel most comfortable when you first got to Cincinnati?
I actually went through the minor leagues with Barry Larkin, with Eric Davis, who kind of came up at the same time. But to your point, that was in 1986. In 85, I got called up kind of by myself. And Pete Rose, Davey Concepcion, Tony Perez, a lot of the big red machines still there, where I felt like I sat in the corner and I really didn't belong.
Maybe it'll make the catch. Yeah, you don't want to say the wrong thing, sit in the wrong seat, right?
No, absolutely.
Well, Lale's done a nice job thus far. He's faced 3 batters and recorded 4 outs. Renato Nunez. Now, this isn't just the major league debut for Lale. This is his first time ever at Yankee Stadium. Never been in this ballpark.
It's not your normal stadium to walk into for the first time, right?
No, he said he got lost in the clubhouse. Said that bathroom's so big, I got lost in there for about 30 minutes.
I'll tell you what, you see good movement. He's able to throw that ball that really moves into righties. Very effective pitch. Watch him moving towards the end here. Let's be down and away, and then goes way up and on the hands. Actually took his hands off the bat, Nunez did, to try to not get knuckled.
Lale's high in pitches thrown this year in the minors was 51 pitches, but he's right up around 50 several times. And with a 5-run lead, see if the Yankees get some length out of Lale.
Well, looking down the road, if you're Aaron Boone, you'd love to see this lead stay. You know, you don't want to go back to Chapman. He's thrown 2 days in a row already. Earlier today and yesterday in Toronto. Britton threw in game 1. You'd like to see him not be used. So when you got a 5-run lead, all the world is right. You can even smile as a manager.
The 1-2. Just tipped to stay alive by Nunez. Swing and a miss. The first career strikeout for Brady Lale. His family loves it. A 1-2-3-6. Well, Brady Lale's mother, Jody, was fired up after this strikeout, the first career strikeout for her son. And after the outburst of elation comes relief.
I think she's much more relaxed when the Yankees are hitting. What do you think?
I think so, too. How about that exhale? Lale has been tremendous so far. Remember, game like today, it's at the discretion of the official scorer who would get a win. Still a lot of work to be had in this game. But could turn out that way for Lale.
You know, for sentimental effect, you got to give it to the youngster, right?
I would think so. 8-3 Yankees lead it, bottom of the 6th. Yankees seeking their 14th straight win against the Orioles. And Valera works a walk. Take a look at the out-of-town scores brought to you by BMW, the ultimate driving experience. Indians with a 5-3 lead on the Red Sox. Toronto's offense has been on fire. They are bashing Texas. Washington leading Cincinnati. Houston and Chicago have been postponed. And they're going to have to play a doubleheader tomorrow. The Angels and Pirates and Rays and Padres later on. At this point, if you're the Yankees, you're watching the Astros as closely as anybody on the scoreboard.
You know what I'm thinking when I see it, though? I'm seeing postponement in Chicago. Is that heading this way tomorrow?
Yeah.
that is like coming right across the map, across Ohio and then New York.
That's the way the weather goes. Blows right through Cincy and onto New York.
I call some of my buddies in Cincy and have them tell it to head south or something.
Redirect that storm. Doppler Paul O'Neill will be in full action tomorrow.
Be a big day for me on the weather front.
We should have you do reports. All we need is a window, Paul.
Danny Cunningham, our grounds crew. He always saw the windows. Like, Danny, the whole map is red. That means rain. Like, look at this little spot. It's a window. Yeah. As soon as that closes, we're going to be wet for 48 hours.
Danny, find us a window tomorrow. After 6 straight balls, Evan Phillips throws a strike. Tom Eshelman beginning to toss in the Orioles bullpen. LeMahieu powers that to right field and deep. Mancini looking up. It's off the wall. Valera will race to third. It's a loud single for DJ LeMahieu. And another multi-hit game. The Yankees are set up to tack on. First and third, nobody out.
Well, LeMahieu last at bat hammered one down, and I couldn't believe Mancini actually caught it on the warning track. Right back at him. This one just directly over his head. Hardest ball to catch for an outfielder. Just beat him to the wall. Valera had to read the ball to make sure that it was not caught.
And Brandon Hyde will make the call to the bullpen. Phillips. Oh, what a beautiful shot. That bright moon on a gorgeous summer night. The breeze blowing. And the Yankees raking. First and third, nobody out. Yankees with an 8-3 bottom of the 6th lead. Tom Eshelman on. His 9th appearance in the bigs this year. And back-to-back strikes to Judge. Judge has walked twice so far tonight. He had game 1 off this afternoon. You know, talking about, just being a matter of time before Judge goes off. Think about it. Right now, the way the rest of the offense has been firing, it's all right if he gets there at a point when they may need him to carry them.
Yeah, to your point, Ryan, much less pressure as a player when you're struggling a little bit if the team's winning. It just takes everything. This is what we're here to do. We're here to win baseball games. And if I'm a big part of it, great. And if I'm not, I'm going to work and work and work till I am a big part of it. And right now, Aaron Judge is still, in my mind, the leader of this team. And people still look to him for everything. You talked earlier on the broadcast about how young players come up. They know Aaron Judge. They walk that walk that he does. There's a lot more than hitting home runs to Aaron Judge to this baseball team. And you just got to realize that when he does get hot, this offense only gets better.
I can remember since 2017, CC Sabathia saying he may be young, but he is our leader. The 2-2. Judge grounds that to third. Runner coming home is Valera. He's hung up. And Valera is going to be tagged out.
Yeah, Valeria, you don't know this as a runner, but you know it was going to take a decent throw for him to be thrown out at the plate there. And you're much better off making him make a throw and be tagged out at home plate than tagged out going back to third base.
Well, especially there wasn't going to be ample time to, I mean, or your chances of getting the other runner to third as you're getting the run down are slim to none. So you're not advancing the other runners, so might as well take a shot at them making a good throw home. Instead, Valera cut down on the bases, and here is Urshela.
And again, you see as a read, the ball's behind you. See, he's still on the run there. He's going to have to make a decent throw. Any kind of bad throw, Valera might be home. It might be safe.
Was he tagged with the glove while the ball was in the bare hand?
Oh, now you're getting real deep on the play, huh?
As it happened, I thought maybe, but there didn't seem to be anyone who put up a fight, so I let it go. But I think he might have been tagged with the glove while the ball was in the catcher's bare hand. Take a look. Does he tag him? Or did he put it? He put it in the glove. Okay.
Put it into the glove.
He put it in the glove.
You know, you've been here so long, you start to see things.
It's
here.
true, Paul. Somebody get the play-by-play guy some glasses.
That was in between that sunrise and sunset that we saw.
Been a long day at the stadium. Huge thanks to our outstanding crew who gets here very early, setting things up. As Urshela swings through that, 2-2. Frank Lombardo wedged in on camera 3. Thanks, Frank. Ken DeSantis protecting himself from the rain.
He's just getting that ready for tomorrow, that umbrella.
Tad Davis always representing the Ravens. He's getting married in November.
Brian, we've been talking about weddings all night. Every song that comes on in the big screen now between innings, I ask you, is that a wedding song? That's all my wife wants to know.
Tough to right center. Catch is made by Santander. Well, you have 3 you're planning for, so you need
an extensive playlist.
Exactly. An extensive playlist and a whole lot of cash.
Oh, does that? It's not free? I thought they did those for free.
Maybe it is for you.
Yeah.
Well, the season numbers versus the Orioles are just silly for Gleyber Torres. A 3-run homer his last time up. He hits with first and second, 2 out. In the bottom of the 6th, the Yankees leading 8-3. Torres powers that to left field and deep. Going back, Peterson. He has done it again. This is absolutely absurd. Gleyber, the Oriole killer, his 13th of the year against Baltimore, and I can only imagine what Gary Thorne is saying.
I'm going to go tell Gary Thorne I've had enough, too. I am going over right now.
Go for it, Paul. Gleyber Torres with his 3rd home run of the doubleheader, his 2nd 3-run shot of the day, and here comes Paul O'Neill. He's telling Gary Thorne he's had enough as well. I mean, this is just ridiculous. Look at Gary Thorne's reaction. Goodbye home run. Just mystified.
He flat out just told me, get out of here. I told him I didn't hit it. Oh, this game brings out the best in everybody, doesn't it?
It is just incredible. Gardner, that's going to kick foul.
You know, the odds are, okay, it's not that Gleyber Torres, and you watch another one, hits 25, 26 home runs in a year. It's just that half of them are against one team. It is amazing. These aren't cheapies either. These are bombs.
He is destroying these baseballs. Nice catch by that guy, and the reaction from Gary is just great. Oh, it's terrific. The updated numbers: in 16 games, he has 13 homers and 20 ribbies against the Orioles.
Well, all kidding aside, those are two of the better in all of television.
Oh, yeah.
Jim Palmer, Gary Thorne over there on the other side. Great work.
Jim hung out with us a little bit in between games.
Yeah, he came over to say hello.
Gardner looks at strike 3, and that ends the 6th. But Gleyber Torres all smiles. 2 homers tonight, 3 on the day. And not a whole lot else from Baltimore in Game 2 of this day-night doubleheader. Yankees an 11-3, top of the 7th lead. Gleyber Torres now 3 home runs on the day, 2 3-run homers in the nightcap. He has 13 home runs against the Orioles this season. The only player ever with more in a year against an opponent, Lou Gehrig in 1936 against Cleveland.
Well, we got a couple more games, right?
Yeah, that record could fall. He also got a couple more innings.
And Brady Leo back out on the hill.
Leo has faced 4 hitters, gotten 5 outs. A double play on his second big league pitch, and then a 1-2-3 6th inning.
Well, so far to this point, he's had the ability to use his pitches and pitch to both sides of the plate. He's jammed some right-handers. He's had some lefties out in front. So does use all of his pitches, and he's had good location with all of them.
The 3-1 is fouled off. The 3-2 is just outside. Ball 4. Peterson is on. Now, we've talked about the feel-good story of Brady Lale making his major league debut, and Meredith, this also a feel-good day for Cameron Maybin.
Well, I know the Brady Lale story really pulled at your heartstrings, Paul, and I'm sorry, but this one is really going to get you. On Mother's Day, I had Cameron Maybin on the BP show where he appeared wearing a pink Nene Strong shirt in support of his mother, Renee Nene Maybin, who had been diagnosed with breast cancer. After Game 1, he tweeted out this message: a great Game 1 win for the boys today, but a more important win off the field as my mom, Nene, is officially in remission from her breast cancer diagnosis. Thank you to everyone who sent their love and support for Nene Strong. Now let's get after it in Game 2. Now, Maybin has told me in this past that his mom watches almost all of the games. So, Nene, if you're watching, we are glad you are in the clear. What a big day for the Maybins.
Wow. Some stories are even better than others. You know that? That's awesome.
Amazing, amazing news. A stop there by Romine.
You look at Leal, and you kind of try to get his body language. He doesn't look overwhelmed, doesn't look nervous.
Hit hard, and Torres tried to side saddle it. Could not glove it. Everybody reaches on what should be an E6.
Yeah, ball hit hard, but he was going to make a nice, easy side play. Actually, they're going to give him a hit. It was hit so hard. But you see his reaction. He comes up with this. This is a very easy double play. I think he was going to go take it by himself.
I know that was hit hard. That is a really generous hit call. That's 2 hops right at him if he wasn't trying to go to the side and get to the bag.
You see him grimacing there. That ball, when it comes up and it hits that thumb bone, it hurts. And believe me, after a play like this, the last thing you want to do is act like you're hurt, but this hurts. Because it doesn't catch a lot of leather. It just goes right off the pad and the bone on your thumb.
That ball is drilled to left field and gone. A 3-run homer for Hanser Alberto, as Torres upset with himself following the misplay. It's an 11-6 game.
You saw Torres's reaction, knowing that he probably should have turned that a double play. But you know what, you go on. You're in the 7th inning. Alberto has had quite a day. He knows how to swing the bat, no doubt about it. Remember where you are. You got a 5-run lead. You need 9 outs. First ball that he got to the middle of the plate. No doubter right there.
Alberto a triple and now a 3-run homer in the second game. He had 2 hits in the first game. You see Gleyber's reaction right away. Obviously upset with himself after the misplay. He's also accounted for 6 runs driven in this game. So he has certainly done his part on the scoreboard. Here's Chris Davis.
We talked about Alberto, 4th in the American League in hitting. Came into this last 19 games, hit over 385. He's only adding to it. He has had tremendous at-bats all day. A good change up there to get Chris Davis. And turn that over, and that ball just fade away. Good pitch to a lefty.
Second strikeout for Leal. Here's Rio Ruiz. Ruiz clubbed a walk-off home run yesterday against the Astros after the Orioles had blown the lead in the top of the 9th. Ruiz a walk-off homer in the bottom of the 9th off of Roberto Osuna.
See LeMahieu skipping rope over second base to get the shift a little bit different with 2 strikes.
As Cortez warms in the Yankee pen. Popped up. Torres makes the catch. 2 down.
Another good pitch there. You'd love to see him get through this inning if you're Aaron Boone. You know, how does a young kid bounce back after he gives up a home run? Well, you make quality pitches. Just out of the strike zone. Strike out to Chris Davis, and then a pop-up. Big out for him to get through this 7th.
Two out, nobody on. Game was started by Green. He got the first 4 batters out on 11 pitches. Then Joe Mantiply made his Yankee debut, and Brady Lale making his major league debut, trying to get the Yankees into the 8th. It's 3-1.
And if you're Brady Lale, you know all your emotions into the, now you can see the finish line, and to get that last out, you just want to get through this inning. You know you're done, but boy, to get that last out, sometimes the toughest one.
And he's a strike away from getting that. Larry Rothschild's watchful eye, trying to guide this pitching staff through another opener contest. The 3-2 is fouled away. Tapped, back to the mound. Lale tosses to first and ends the inning. Nice bounce back from Lale after the homer from Alberto. At the end of 6½, we will hang out here with the Lale family for God Bless America.
Ladies and gentlemen, will you please rise and remove your caps? And please direct your attention to the area behind home plate as the New York Yankees welcome an honored military guest who is joined by his family. United States Marine Corps Corporal Bruce Myers from East Hartford, Connecticut, who served in the Vietnam War. The Yankees say thank you for your sacrifice and service to our nation. Now, ladies and gentlemen, please join us as Yankee Stadium organist Paul Cartier plays God Bless America.
Leading off the bottom of the 7th inning, and fouls the first pitch away. Maben 0 for 3. Yankees an 11-6 lead on the Orioles. Trying to complete the sweep of the doubleheader, and that would make it 5 doubleheader sweeps in 6 doubleheaders played this year for the Yankees.
Yeah, that's pretty impressive. I mean, we went over it. For the majority of things, I mean, there are sweeps, but you have such a tendency to split doubleheaders that I never thought it was really an advantage to play teams doubleheaders. But
fly ball into shallow center. Santander makes the catch. Now let's do the Yankees box score. Brought to you by Spectrum Mobile. Visit SpectrumMobile.com. DJ LeMahieu, of course, a multi-hit game. Gio Urshela, of course, a multi-hit game. Torres, 2 3-run homers. Gardner, a bases-clearing triple. Ford has gone deep. Valera's been on base twice. Now, the last time the Yankees swept 5 doubleheaders in a season, 1973. They swept 7 doubleheaders, but played in 15.
you're playing 15 doubleheaders. They weren't scheduled back in the 70s, huh?
I think, yeah, they were in the 70s, yeah. You still had scheduled doubleheaders.
Wow.
You ever go to any scheduled doubleheaders growing up? No.
I'm literally game one. I told you about our summer trip. We went to Crosley Field to Cincinnati. I can't really think of any other big league games that I went to.
Yeah.
I just wasn't. I grew up in Columbus. We didn't have a team. It was a big trip to go down there.
Romine smashes that, but right to Ruiz. 2 away. But Paul, you were starting to get into just how difficult it is to sweep doubleheaders. You just sort of assume, regardless of the 2 teams playing, this will probably be a split. But the Yankees are just taking care of business this year.
I think it has a lot to do with one of the Yankees' strengths, and that's depth. I mean, they can give 3 or 4 guys the night off of one of them and still be very productive and even call guys up to play. Again, Valera comes up as your 26th guy, plays a position for both games. Didi only has to play 1. I mean, these things come into play when you're going down the stretch here, when guys are getting tired.
Ford, a piece of that depth, has homered in this game. Yankees with 7 home runs so far today. Torres with 3 of them. Ford chops that into shallow right. Alberto fires to first to eliminate Ford. At the end of 7, it's the Yankees 11 and the Orioles 6. Brought to you by NYU Langone, health made for New York. Yasiel Puig will begin serving his 3-game suspension tonight. Michael Chavis placed on the 10-day IL with a shoulder injury, and Yadier Molina activated from the IL. He will play for St. Louis tomorrow.
Which will make Puig available to play in the Yankee series this weekend. With those 3 games under his belt.
Should be a really interesting series.
2 good teams, no doubt about it. Cleveland's playing very well right now, and all of a sudden they've added a bat to that lineup. They had all kind of problems in the outfield trying to replace Brantley, and they're hoping that Puig might be that guy.
Cortez, the new pitcher for the Yankees, after they've pieced it together with Chad Green, Joe Mantiply, and Brady Lale. I was talking with Nestor earlier today, and I said, you know, when you're going to drop down or you're going to quick pitch, how do you decide? And he said he always decides in the moment, but he knows going into the game which hitters he will do it against.
Interesting.
So based on the scouting work and video work he does, he'll know, is this a guy I'll drop down against? Is this a guy I'll try and quick pitch? But then he just decides if he's going to based on what's happening right at that moment as he drops down and gets the ground ball to second. One away. Tonight after the final out, head back over to Yes for the extra innings postgame for highlights and analysis. Then stay tuned for an all-new episode of Homegrown, The Path to Pinstripes, presented by Wendy's. And see how top prospect Davy Garcia is adjusting to AAA. It's only on Yes.
Yeah, Davy Garcia, that's a name you're starting to hear a lot of. I'm sure he'll be in Yankee Stadium before you know it.
Could be a guy we see at some point during September.
That's always an interesting time to see guys that are called up, and obviously teams that are involved in the playoff hunt call up more kids to give guys rest. And
does it change the way the clubhouse feels, Paul, when all of a sudden you have a lot of faces there that weren't?
You know the funny thing is, where it really changes is your batting practice. Because there's more people, they cut down the, from like 15 to 12 minutes. And believe me, when you're into schedules, you want your 15 minutes. You don't want to give 3 minutes to the kids that aren't playing that night. That's where it really comes into play. But a lot of times, just sitting in your locker, a kid will kind of walk by and sit down and you talk to some young kids, and it's because everybody has been there, and as long as you play, you never forget that feeling when you get to sit in a locker room and know that you're going to go out with an opportunity to play in a major league game.
2 down as Renato Nunez takes a strike. Grounded to short. Torres whips it across, and a tidy 1-2-3-8 for Nestor Cortez. Line score is brought by Acura Dealer. 11-6. Yankees lead it. They have 10 hits to the Bombers. And Gleyber Torres, who already has 2 3-run homers in this game, is due to hit 5th in this bottom of the 8th. Valera powers that to center field. Santander catches up with it for the first out.
Ryan, one of my favorite times of the night is 80s on 8.
You love 80s on 8.
It was a big hit tonight. Young MCs bust a move. The booth was going crazy.
Oh, my goodness. I have not seen that kind of synchronicity
little
in
life,
the booth.
huh?
Oh, man. There are those certain songs, right? It just like comes on, you can't help yourself.
That's right.
I'm sure the truck was thoroughly entertained on Snoop Cam.
Oh, I forgot we got cameras up here. That's not good.
LeMahieu rang a single off the wall and right his last time up.
Uh-oh. Hey.
Hey, there we go. That is how you bust a move.
See that?
That's right.
If I'd only known we didn't have cameras.
Nobody's safe up here, Paul. Nobody's safe. LeMahieu lines another base hit as that trickles off the glove of VR. A 3-hit night for DJ LeMahieu.
You know what? The guy can hit. How's that? We'll just leave it at that. And when he hits it hard, it's not going to get caught. I just love to watch it, and I just keep hoping that this is just kind of the resurgence of the hitting in the game, that people realize how productive you can be by putting the ball in play time and time again.
He just hits the ball hard with such regularity to all fields. He has become the perfect leadoff man. Judge drives that to right center field. Converging are the outfielders, and Mancini makes the catch as Judge caught it off the end of the bat. 2 down.
You know, it's frustrating, I'm sure, for Aaron Judge, because I know he feels like he's getting some pitches to hit, and everything's just off the end of the bat. But, Rand, I'm telling you, it's not far away.
Here's Gio Urshela. 3 hits in game 1 of this doubleheader. 2 hits, 2 runs scored in the nightcap. You feel pretty good when you have a 5-hit day during the doubleheader, huh?
You always know coming into the ballpark, if you're playing both games, that it could be a great day, or you could throw an 0 for 10 up there. I mean, it could be a tough night. Double headers are very dangerous as a hitter.
Or it could be a 6-hit day.
Wow.
How about that? Another 3-hit game for Gio Urshela. 6 hits so far today.
And it's been line to line, hit behind runners game 1, a 461-foot home run to left center, up the middle. I mean, kids, if you're watching baseball today, emulate your swings off of LeMahieu and Urshela. You'll hit your home runs, but put the ball in play where it's pitched. Fun to watch.
Oh, and they are going to intentionally walk Torres with first and second and 2 out in a 5-run game.
You know, it is kind of a statement, and in the old days, you know what, they just throw one up and in. If they hit you, they hit you. So it's actually a classy way of saying, hey, you know what, you're not going to hit another one.
They're not giving Torres another swing after 2 3-run homers tonight. Highly unconventional with first and second 2 out. Down 5 to intentionally walk Torres, and the crowd is not happy.
Remember years and years ago, Buck Showalter intentionally walked Barry Bonds with bases loaded in the 9th inning.
See if Gardner makes the Orioles pay. If I remember correctly, too, I think that worked for Showalter.
I don't know who hit after him, but he hit a bullet, a line drive right at the right field. Game over. Brett Maine, James just told me. I thought it was a little left-handed catcher, yeah.
Check out Gleyber's first homer, StatCast AI, powered by AWS. 420 feet off the back wall of the bullpen. Three home runs on the day for Torres, 13 against Baltimore this year. The 2-1. Gardner slams that foul. Gardner with 4 career grand slams, including one this season. Gardner rolls that softly to the right side. Alberto throws him out to end the inning. This puppy goes to the ninth. The Yankees looking to lock down another doubleheader sweep. 6 Yankee victory. Grounded underneath and past the glove of Ford. Into right field, a base hit for Jace Peterson. Wake up with Betty, Dan, Byron, Marissa, and the rest of the Wpix morning news crew with all the news, weather, and traffic you need to start your day. Mornings from 4:30 to 9 on the Wpix 11 Morning News. Honored to be the New York area Emmy-winning Best Morning Newscast for 2019. An 8-5 win in Game 1, an 11-6 lead here in the 9th inning of Game 2. The Yankees on the brink of sweeping their 5th doubleheader of the season. This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the New York Yankees and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the New York Yankees. Adam Ottavino getting loose just in case he's needed.
Cortez not only dropped down, but he took a lot off of that. Nothing to do for Cisco other than just line it foul way out in front. You know, a mark of a good game umpiring, and I just noticed it. There's not been one argument, nothing questioned, and it's been baseball, and that just tells me that the umpires did a good job.
That's a great point. Can't think of one thing we've brought up today about the umps. We haven't had to show, replays with the box showing pitches and was it in or out of the zone. So Tripp Gibson behind the plate, Marvin Hudson at first, Mark Carlson at second, and Alex Tossi at third. Well done, gentlemen.
That's right. It's still got a few outs to go, but you're doing a good job so far.
I like how you're still holding them on the hook for these final 2 outs.
And I don't want to get them big-headed back there. They might blow a call or something.
But this is one of the rare times I can remember, you're initiating some praise for the umpire. I hope they understand how big this is.
I saw that check swing and I was kind of processing. I'm like, wow, we haven't argued with him all night.
No.
Pretty good.
I'm not sure Alberto will love that strike call right on cue. The 1-1 dropping down and missing away is Cortez.
Alberto up to 319 now after this doubleheader. He had quite a day.
2 hits in the first game, a triple and a homer in this game. The interesting thing about Alberto is he chases, he is one of the highest chase percentages in the majors, but he also is one of the lowest strikeout percentages. So he leaves the zone, but he can get his bat to it. Cortez drops down, and that is rifled down the left field line, just foul.
They maybe ran over there not knowing if this was fair or foul. A lot of times is alive, clearly foul. Then off a couple fans, back out on the field.
Yankees looking to improve to 12-1 in their 13 opener games. Fought off into center field, a base hit, third of the game, fifth of the day for Hanser Alberto, and first and second with one out. And Chris Davis coming up. Or a pinch hitter, it looks like.
Talk about launch angles and all these things. A level swing will still give you the most chances for a hit. This ball jammed. This ball's all the way up on the label, but watch how level his swing is, which allows him just to line the ball up the middle and pull his hands in. And if you have that uppercut launch angle, that's nothing but a lazy fly ball.
Stevie Wilkerson pinch hitting, swings and misses.
Stevie Wilkerson, as he steps into the box, you remember he had an unbelievable thing where he's pitched numerous times this year, as many blowouts as there's been, but he actually had a save, a 1-2-3 inning in the 16th inning against the Anaheim Angels here, and he got the save. You just don't see that very often.
Yeah, that was a wild game in Anaheim.
He had 16 pitches in the 16th inning. Never reached 60 miles an hour in that outing.
The 2-1. He is fought off into shallow right. Judge coming in, and out goes Valera. He can't make the catch. Everybody's safe.
Yeah, tough play, and with Aaron Judge bearing down on you, not much you can do to get out of the way. That's going to be scored a base hit. You start taking your eyes off the ball when you hear those big footsteps from 99 coming in. Did get a glove on it, just couldn't keep it in there.
Some soft contact, but the bases are loaded. One out, so Adam Ottavino is going to come on and try and lock down this win. This is a save situation now as Adam Ottavino comes on with the tying run in the on-deck circle. One out, bases loaded, 5-run lead, and that ball's foul. Been a long day at the ballpark, and, well, it just got longer as Mike Ford's going to have to go after that.
Forgot about the netting.
Yeah.
Gotta lob that ball now.
Great numbers for Ottavino. The one problematic aspect for Ottavino at times has been walks. Otherwise, stellar numbers. The 0-1. Swing and a miss, 0-2. The 0-2. Hit hard and into right field, a base hit. Judge racing to cut it off. 2 runs are going to score. It's an RBI single for Rio Ruiz, and the Orioles are not done. It's 11-8.
A lot like game 1, where you never thought that the tying or winning run would come to the plate, and all of a sudden, here it is. Ottavino got ahead 0-2, and then he hung a slider. Ball just lined to right field.
we mentioned the Orioles offense has put up some numbers lately. It's their pitching that has been their biggest issue. And the offense again showing signs of life. First and third, one out, tying run at the plate. Strike one.
Dangerous hitter. Villar, one of the hotter hitters in 382 over his last 17 games. So this game far from over. 2 big outs.
The 0-1. Slider tap foul. It's 0-2.
He's thrown a couple good sliders, and then he hung that slider too. And Ottavino, obviously one of the game's best sliders. I'd be surprised to see him go to a fastball here. Try to put Villar away.
The 0-2. He got him. Fastball. You called it, Paul. Right down the middle. 2 down. Hey, our next Picks telecast is Friday when the Yankees take on the Cleveland Indians. Coverage begins at 7. That's Yankees Indians live from the Bronx right here on Picks 11, New York's very own.
See, the paint's not even dry yet, Ryan. It's running down the screen. That's how new that promo was.
That's right.
Yeah, Ottavino, I mean, he hung a couple sliders, and you could see his reaction. And as good as his fastball is, he's felt more comfortable putting Villar away with that heater.
And Ottavino now an out away from ending it.
He's a 2-seamer at 96. A little movement, but just locked him up. Good, smart pitch.
Yankees 11, Orioles 8. First and third, 2 out. Top of the 9th. The 1-0. Fly ball in the air to left center. Maben is there. Ball game. The Yankees win it 11-8, and they sweep this doubleheader with the Orioles.
Well, you said it, Ryan. Another day, another couple games for the Yankees here at home, and another win against the Orioles. And that man right there is going to try to schedule a couple inter-squad games when they leave town. He has absolutely crushed the Baltimore Orioles.
2 3-run homers in the nightcap for Torres, 3 homers on the day, and the Yankees have now swept 5 of the 6 doubleheaders they have played this season. We'll step aside, come back with more from the stadium as Gleyber Torres. Yeah, he had a couple 3-run homers tonight. 11-8, Yanks win it.